This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Monday, the 6th of May, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. We start with some excellent news. Two major accomplishments for Team TTO, as both the men and women's team have qualified for the Paris Olympics. At the World Athletics Relay in the Bahamas last evening, the men's relay team caught silver in 3 minutes and 2 seconds after Brazil got gold in 3 minutes and 1 second, while the women's 4x100 meters team also caught silver in 43.54 seconds after Jamaica in 42.74 seconds. Both the men and women's relay team have now qualified for the Olympics in Paris later this year. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is pursuing all investigative leads to bring justice to the perpetrators of the Cocoreat killings this past weekend. Commissioner of Police Early Harewood Christopher, in response to the incident, immediately summoned a high-powered meeting comprising of Deputy Commissioners of Operations and Intelligence Investigations, the ACP Criminal Division, and head of the Homicide Bureau of Investigations, head of the Special Investigations Unit, and head of several other operational units. Commissioner Harewood condemned the latest acts of violence, which she described as senseless. Meanwhile, the Commissioner of Police, Early Harewood Christopher, visited the scene of the multiple killings, this time in Cocoreat on Saturday night. There are 36-year-old Jonathan Osmond of Cocoreat, who died at the scene. Shaquille Otley, 22, Antonio Jack, 57, also of Cocoreat, were pronounced dead at hospital. Siddiqui Otley, 31, of Cocoreat, died while undergoing emergency treatment. 8 others, ages 19 to 39, were shot and taken to the St. James Medical Center for treatment, then transferred to another institutions. Report indicated that around 11 p.m. on Saturday, a group of persons were liming on the eastern side of Building F in the Phase 1 Powder Magazine, Cocoreat. When a dark vehicle drove up, 2 men dressed in dark-colored clothing came out and began shooting indiscriminately. Investigations are continuing into the murders and injuries. A call from the Opposition United National Congress for Finance Minister Colm Imber to reveal the names of investigators chosen to probe the issues surrounding the submission of the Auditor General's report on the 2023 public financial statements to Parliament. The UNC is calling for details in relation to the selection process for investigators, the terms of reference, and the cost to taxpayers. The call was made by a member of Parliament for Oropouche East, Dave Tanku, at a news briefing held yesterday, Sunday. A bushfire cited by the Chaguanas Development Authority, CDA, as the reason for the closure of Tucker Valley Macreep Road this past weekend. The CDA explained the road is temporarily closed until further notice. It says the safety of visitors and the protection of the natural environment are of utmost importance to the authority. On June 5th, 8 people were charged in connection with an illegal quarrying operation in Waterfield are expected to return to Arima Court. Last Friday, they were charged with possession of minerals without a license. They were granted $75,000 bail with a surety each by a justice of the peace. In news of the region, the Ghana Light and Power Company will begin efforts to connect the Demerara-Berbice interconnected system to a Turkish electricity generation ship that arrived in the country to help alleviate blackouts. The ship's capacity to generate 36 megawatts of electricity. It arrived in Everton in Region 6 over the weekend after a 2-week journey from Cuba, and Ghana's Department of Public Information reported a team of engineers and other technical officers are carrying out final prep to accommodate the vessel. Finally, Australia's biggest airline, Qantas, has agreed to pay Australian $100 million penalty to settle a legal case, accusing it of selling thousands of tickets for flights it had already cancelled. Under the deal with the Australian Competitor and Consumer Commission, the firm will also launch a plan with up to Australian $20 million to compensate affected passengers. Qantas Chief Executive Vanessa Hudson said the move represented an important step toward restoring confidence in the national carrier. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We'll have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. brought to you by Genesco Appliances Limited. Good morning.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
morning, neighbors. Good morning, neighbors. Good morning, neighbors. On this Monday, the 6th day of May. Thank you so much for joining us. Hope you guys had a great weekend, a relaxing weekend. Yeah, hope you did. Thank you so much for joining us on Power 182 Digital, the Power Breakfast Show. Of course, on the show this morning, full cast in. You just heard from Super Paul, Dr. Paul Richards. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen, Richard Ragoobarsingh. We got Shane, we got Ruben in the mix. My name is Steve Khan. All right, it's a warm one already in Trinidad and Tobago. 26 degrees at Piarco International Airport, 27 at Crown Point in Tobago. And of course, traffic-wise, usual stuff. Chase Village to Sugar Guarners, Charlieville towards the interchange, Trin City to UE. And then after the interchange, volume again, and then your traffic will start from Swim Call. All right. Let me bring Paul in and tell him good morning to you, my friend. How are you?
Good morning, Steve. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Wendell.
Morning,
Hi,
Wendell.
morning, gentlemen, and good morning to all listeners and viewers all over the globe. A special good morning to our athletes who have done us so proud once again. Trust me, I needed the lift, and certainly the country needed the lift. So good morning, everyone. I like that snazzy look. You have a new snazzy look there, Paul.
What's that?
On the screen, I'm seeing something different.
I'm trying new things.
Yeah, it looks. I like the blue. It's kind of calming. It has a calming effect on me this morning.
All blue has calming effects on you?
Not all, but this particular blue. Oh Lord, I know where you went.
I ain't not saying no word.
Not all blue, but this blue certainly has, and I think I needed it. So to the person who weekend I may have messed up, I hope they're listening this morning, and I'm sorry,
You mess up. You set up somebody.
Yeah.
You always have these times when you
Pill didn't work.
when you probably say things you should not have said.
But the pill didn't work and somebody gets set up.
Nah. I told you I'm donating my body to science. I'm going to be the pill people take at some point in time.
But the last person to take that pill didn't do so well,
You think so? You think so?
Anyway, let's say hellos to those that sent us messages first thing this morning via Facebook and YouTube. That's where you can join us this morning. Of course, on television, you can also watch us on Flow Channel 111, Flow HD 109, Digicel Channel 20, and of course on Amplia Channel 117. Wendy and James out in San Juan, Marcio Rock in Orlando, Florida, God Silly out of Valencia, Oliver Man Warren, DJ Ray in Tampa, Boy Bedesi out in DB, Wayne B still in Trinidad City, Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Good morning to you, John Keto, Maria Celia, Doreen Pierre, morning Pierre, Anthony Tinto, CJ New York, Rena Budu Jennings in Pitti Valley, Sasha out in London, Nakisha Pierre in Brazil Village. I think you all got a lot of rain yesterday. Brent Hackshaw, Carol Joseph, DL, Shanif Ali, Mrs. R is up already, Dennis Bassad, Evans David, Wayne Ramsey. On WhatsApp, you can WhatsApp at 318-1021. We have Sankofa, we got Dan Raj, we had Bobby, GNC Auto Security, Trev in Arima. Good morning to you all. Thanks for sending us that message. We love when you send us a message.
Let's start with the good news this morning.
The world silver medalists and the Olympic silver medalists, France and Netherlands, find themselves in the same heat here. France looking to make up for the absence of Thomas Jordier through injury, which caused them to be in this Olympic qualifying round 2. Brazil right on the outside with Lucas Carvalho have gone through the first 200 particularly strongly. Also,
in case you didn't know yet, both the men and women's relay team, men's 4x400 relay team, just make sure I have it right. Yeah, the men's 4x100 relay team.
With Lucas Carvalho
And the women's 4x100 men
Marco Arup,
top silver
the
and both
100
qualified for the
champion.
Olympics. These are the heats
Brazil
coming
right on
off
the outside.
in Bahamas last
Brazil get the baton over first, just ahead of France, Canada, the Netherlands, Trinidad and Tobago, and Australia have made some late progress as Alex Beck right on the inside, trying to make the most of that tight bend and sneak up the inside as the stagger unwinds. Brazil then lead as they break from the lanes down the back. From France and the Netherlands in third position, Terence Agard for them. It's Lucas Villar out front for Brazil. Gilles Biron in second position for France. Jereme Richards, the former world indoor champion over 400 metres, is now moving Trinidad and Tobago up into third position ahead of Terence Agard of the Netherlands. Australia with Alex Beck and also Marco Arup is keeping Canada in touch. They come down the home straight to hand on to leg number 3. Trinidad and Tobago flying down the home straight. Great leg from Jereme Richards has put them into second place as we move on to the third leg, but still Brazil are the leaders. Vitor Di Miranda takes the baton for them. Australia tearing into this third leg with Cooper Sherman, who was the one team change yesterday, and I hope he's measuring his effort correctly here. Cooper Sherman getting his first taste of the World Relays here in the Bahamas, halfway through this third leg. Australia, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada in 5th position at the moment, with the Netherlands who've got a bit to do. The baton currently in the hand of Ramsey Angela for them. They've got Bonavacia on the final leg. Canada will hand on to Jalen White as they close up. Australia are starting to fade. Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada and Netherlands continue to chip away, and Australia are going backwards. Cooper Sherman's barely going to get to his teammate, as Brazil with 5 metres on the rest in this final heat for the 2 places up for grabs, but anything could happen in behind them. Trinidad and Tobago with Shaquem Mackay on the final leg. France have Theo Andon currently in 3rd position, all chasing out Mateus Lima out front. They're pretty evenly spread, those first 5 positions. Jalen White for Canada and Limavin Bonavacia for the Netherlands at the moment. All of them have got a couple of metres to find on the athlete in front of them, and the one they've got to catch is Mateus Lima of Brazil. Swinging into the home straight for the final 2 places in the Olympic Games, Mateus Lima from Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France tussling for that second spot. Brazil are fading, they're going to get to the line. Trinidad and Tobago are just about going to hold off France.
There we go.
Straight up there, 5 teams probably
Yes,
in contention coming down the
men's
stretch.
4x100
Yeah, it was a great race to
team.
watch that because it
And now
was
we see the women's
from the
team.
beginning to the end. It was so.
This I'm wearing my national.
The Trinidadians, they moved him onto the second.
Yeah, all right. So, gentlemen, you're not commentary. Couldn't understand anything you always
No
say.
doubt, a more circumspect start from Alma Herrera of Cuba this time. Jamaica, with Jadine Williams, have gone absolutely flying out. It's Trinidad and Tobago slightly sluggishly away. Good change from Jamaica on the outside, not the best change from Trinidad and Tobago. Liberia up on their inside in 3rd position at the moment. Jamaica handing the baton on to Ramona Bircher in the 3rd leg. Liberia winning contention have got it all wrong. Their chance is gone. What a disaster. Jamaica have Alana Reid racing on the final leg. Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba on the inside, and also Chile are running an absolute stormer in late.
That's where the audio cut out, so.
Oh, okay.
But needless to say, the women's team also qualified for the Olympics last night in the Bahamas athletics relay. So congratulations to both the men's 4x100 meter relay team and the women's
4x4.
4x4, sorry, and the women's 4x100 meters team. So I mean, and to keep hearing them shouting Trinidad and Tobago like that was so heartwarming. So that's the good news. That's a great. I mean, they really gave us a lift.
I was telling you all, are you seeing my national jersey?
Yeah, that's low enough. Thanks. You see it. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, but
So congratulations to the teams.
That lifted my weekend actually. Watching those races last night.
I was so proud. I got up this morning at 4 o'clock to edit that for you.
Yeah, it lifted my weekend.
I thought people needed to see that this morning.
Yeah.
We played again just after 7.
The Olympics is going to start on Friday, July 26th, for those that did not know.
We have lots of sports in the world because we have the ICC T20 tournament.
Yeah, that's going to happen just
from
now.
June 1st to the 30th. And then the Olympics following almost right after.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Nice, man.
So that's the good news.
Always need some good news.
Well, I actually went to Richard's play last night. I decided I couldn't not go again because I missed it so many occasions before. It is an excellent play. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yes,
Richard worked hard in that play, boy. And you know what? Richard has talked to Paul about his snacky comments. Well, Richard let loose a whole barrage of snacky comments in that play. Paul, have you seen it?
Well, he's learning from me. I just want to say that, but he's learning the art of sarcasm from me.
And it's almost like if that just tell Richard, go and play yourself. You know? And write everything around how Richard does get on.
Because he's the king of snacky, yeah?
Oh gosh. But it was a very good play. I really enjoyed it. You know?
Birthday celebrations this weekend also, which seemed to have gone very well.
Yeah.
Except when they tried to stop All Stars Minister Midnight.
You know, I really don't understand
why
they do those things, especially when an event is going safe. It's a safe event. Most pan events are safe.
There were no incidents. There was no drama. But you want to create drama by stopping people here in the band.
Yeah, why?
I mean, what? How? Why?
Listen, sometimes
and you eventually have to let it go through.
Yeah.
When you can just say, let's just manage it.
They were the
last band. Come on.
So just let it happen. Oh goodness.
Common sense will come on, you know.
I always
sometimes I wonder why.
Congratulations to Point and all the participants in Borough, the pan size, the Juve bands. I heard it was very well organized and no incidents to talk about.
Yeah, none. Mayor Clyde James, Deputy Mayor Kwesi Thomas, and the council did an excellent job down there.
You and your family was in the same place. I sent you a picture.
Yeah, I know. I saw the picture. I
said, I wonder who went along the road and we see us going down.
Yeah.
You met and talked?
Belatedly, I went and I got upset when they tried to stop because they actually stopped. They were successful in stopping the band before All Stars. You know, they didn't play in the stadium. They just roll across. You know what I mean? And I'm seeing this drama and I'm saying, what is wrong with these police
Unnecessary.
officers? You know, what is wrong with them?
Common sense. Just you managing it well. Just let the last band play.
Yeah.
That's all. It's taking 10 minutes. Anyway, so that's the good news. Of course, the bad news is following Harp Place a couple of weeks ago, we now have another multiple shooting, this time in Cocorite.
Yeah. You know, I thought that story was fake when I first got it. No. Because I know Cocorite, I know Powder Magazine. I know every area has some little miscreant now. But
well, it seems the new way, unfortunately, which we condemn. Cars are pulling up into crowded areas or areas of people liming and just spraying bullets.
Yeah.
There were 12 people liming.
Did you see the video of the actual shooting?
There's a little more than 12 people liming.
Well, it was from a security camera from far away, but all you saw was
liming. And the dark colored car pulled up. Two men dressed in dark clothing pulled up and just started spraying bullets. Dead are Jonathan Osmond of Cocorite, who died at the scene, Shaquille Otley, 22, Antonio Jack, 57. They were pronounced dead at hospital, and Siddiqui Otley, who I much believe is Shaquille's brother, died while undergoing emergency surgery. 8 others, ages 19 to 39, were shot, injured, and taken to the St. James Medical Center for treatment. So the commissioner made an appearance, which is a good thing. I'm not condemning.
I thought so too.
I thought it was a very good thing, and she spoke to residents, offering words of comfort, which I think is what's supposed to happen. So commendations to Commissioner here with Christopher for making an appearance, showing up there with her team to offer some sort of reassurance, particularly after Harp Place.
It is senseless. Yeah. And clearly, these young persons have no regard to life. And it is not a situation that we will continue to condone. We will not condone that. We will ensure that all our required resources are applied to ensure we have proper investigations done in this matter.
Yeah, that And you know what is kind of worrying about these incidents? It's areas where you can't drive through, you know. You have to literally go in the area and turn and come back out, you know.
Yeah.
You can't pass through the area, you know. It's one way in, one way out.
When I think about a lime now in the Trinidad and Tobago context, you sit down at 11 o'clock on Saturday night in those kinds of housing complexes. People lime in the courtyard.
Yeah.
Because it's hundreds of apartments. Not so?
Yes.
So they lime in the courtyard, and then a car pulls up, you know. Now you had to be frightened. Her place, I passed there last week and they blocked off. Nobody could drive in anymore.
Right.
Now you have to block off all these housing complexes, you know, because you just never know if a car driving in may have the occupants may have sinister motives.
Yeah.
And that's a really sad place to reach.
It is very sad.
I don't know.
Very sad.
It is a condolences to the people who lost loved ones in that multiple shooting. And you know, I get the commissioner say all resources going to be put to finding the perpetrators, but you know, I don't want to get cynical, but that has not been the track record.
Yeah. But did they get footage of the actual car? Because the footage I saw was kind of dark.
Well, they got the car number, if that's still applicable. Them fellas going and burn up their car after, you know. You understand?
Yeah. Yeah. It's bad. Anyway, I have a couple birthday greetings. Let me get them out of the way. Former Councillor Camille McDougall celebrating her birthday today. Aisha Jackman, Joseph Phillip, Alan Mute, and Joel Jack from Tobago. He is celebrating his birthday today. So happy birthday greetings, Joel. And let me see who was over the weekend. Davy McDonald was over the weekend. Ken Simmons from he's I can't remember what radio station.
105, you could say.
105. Yeah, he celebrated his birthday.
How long? Then oh my God, don't call the station, people go switch. Really?
Yeah, I remember that.
Really?
I remember that. I remember
by calling a station name to switch, you have a problem?
I say okay. All right. Stephen Marcel, Calypsonian, his birthday was also over the weekend. And Christopher Diaz, who lives abroad now, his birthday was also.
That name sounds familiar. I think I know Christopher Diaz.
Yeah, two brothers, Christopher and Brent. They both went St. James Sec. They grew up in St. James. And Christopher, both of them live abroad now.
Yeah. You know, Brent Hackshaw, you make a statement there. I think understanding language is so critical to me. The commissioner, and I wondered, I guess she's not the best orator, but she says we will no longer continue to condone this type of behavior, which I know is a slip of the tongue. You understand?
Yeah.
Because you really don't want to say we will no longer continue to condone, suggesting you've been condoning it before.
Yeah.
You know? Keep telling you, she needs training.
Yeah. But she has come out twice this weekend after we haven't
she was in Borody. She probably went straight from Boris celebrations to this horrible.
No, well, Boris celebration she was in was Saturday morning.
Okay. All right.
The Juve was Saturday morning early. And this incident was Sunday morning early.
Well, good for her because she was visible all weekend. That's very good. So commendations to her because she went straight, in the morning, Sunday morning, she was clearly walking around, offering words of comfort to the people in Powder Magazine. You know, when I heard it, I said that was an odd thing to say.
Yeah,
you know, but I guess in the middle of the sentiment, you know, sometimes you always say the right things, and it is, and that is what you need to see. You see that what you're seeing there?
Mm-hmm.
To me, that's very important for any high-ranking officer. And certainly the leader of the TTPS. So commendations to Mrs. Hewitt Christopher for that appearance and walking around talking to the residents.
It is senseless. And clearly, these young persons have no regard to life. And it is not a situation that we will continue to condone. We will not condone that. We will ensure that all our required resources are applied to ensure we have proper investigations done in this matter.
You also don't use the term young persons. You say young people.
Well, we're not picking now.
Well, true. I'm just saying as much as you pointed it out.
Oh gosh.
No, but as we rightfully said, kudos to her. She came out to ensure that Point Fortin Border was a very safe event, and then to commiserate with residents of Powder Magazine on that chaotic situation, tragic situation. You know.
Well, the real proof of the pudding is results, eh?
Yeah.
You know, if tomorrow morning or later today we hear 2 men have been apprehended in relation to the horrible shooting, that is where the real confidence comes in.
Yeah.
You know, apart from that, the public has heard so many promises before about police performance, you know. And as we've always said, I am absolutely sure, with my understanding of, I think it's been decades since I've been in Powder Magazine, there's supposed to be cameras all around here.
Yes, but there are I don't know that there's any.
Into there. There's supposed to be cameras on the buildings, you know.
You know, I don't know that there's any area now that there are no cameras. There are cameras all over now, you know?
As it should be in this environment.
I'm talking about 3 and 4 cameras sometime in one pole, you know.
But
and you can see that they are new.
But the new ones.
Yeah.
You know? Never a dull moment.
Yeah. What else happened over the weekend? Oh, the UNC had their curry duck thing.
Yeah, I saw Dr. Monidal singing. I saw Barry Padarat singing.
I saw Jack Warner there.
I saw Jack
Warner also singing. He was all dressed in blue.
I saw him lending support.
Yeah, I don't know if he was representing the NTA because he was all in blue.
You never know.
You know, but they had their celebrations over the weekend. The 5 dissidents apparently were not there. The 5 MPs who fell out, who standing up for justice and standing up for what is right, they weren't there. And Mrs. Pasadi Sessa made a statement again that elections will be held when they are due. So I think she should just do the elections, win and go and lose in the general. Win your party thing and then go and lose again, and then what?
She said over the weekend, where does this come from? Karen.
They could always sing. What are you talking about?
Where does this come from? I'm trying to figure out where this.
Well, he said morning, Kamala on her way out. On her way out of where? You had to get a hammer and a chisel to get Mrs. Pasadi out from the leadership of the UNC now. Not when she's smelling a prime minister residence again that she ain't really used, but well, on occasions.
They said the election is coming soon.
Yeah.
Karen, is that right? I didn't see. I saw they said at the 35th anniversary. I think it was a curry cookout or something also.
Yeah, it was a curry duck line.
Yeah, that the election is coming soon. I didn't see a date, but if you saw May 24th, so be it. But
I didn't see May 24th. May 24th was the day she was elected as prime minister back in.
Maybe that's what he's referencing. But they said the internal elections are coming soon, so I don't know what soon means, but
she said when they are constitutionally due. They're very smart with their words, you know. They're very clever.
They are politicians, Wendell. Long-standing politicians. Okay. Let me tell you, all you on this chat, like where you say, your keyboard in front of on your lap.
Yeah, well. As they listening to typing it.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
They're going hard.
As they listen to typing. But I did see a couple names I wanted to greet. David Wares. I saw David morning. I saw David commenting earlier on. And Daryl Duku, 2 regular Facebook bloggers. They are both listening this morning. And Wayne Ramsey, my good friend. I'm happy to see you sending message this morning. You know, so
there was a bushfire in Tucker Valley. Mockery. People reported hearing some explosions and fire, and they closed off the road. I think it may be still closed. I'm not sure. The CDA closed the road because of the fire, and they evacuated people who were on the beach at the time. I think on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. Some of the areas are quite dry, so we all need to look out for that. So I don't know if the roads will be open today, you know. And of course, over the weekend, there was 8 people were charged in connection with an illegal quarrying operation in Waterfield. Well, let me tell you something. I just wonder if illegal quarrying turned legal, because the amount of illegal quarrying is be happening and nobody don't get hold. And a big shot name was involved.
Ooh, let me add to my birthday greetings before I forget. One of our most ardent fans, who of course was a pretty good cricketer back in the day. I don't know if he's still playing cricket, but he is such a nice gentleman. You would not believe it. I had the pleasure of visiting and spending some time with him out there in Canada, Ontario. And his birthday is today. Anthony Tinto, originally from St. Joseph, Maracas, St. Joseph. Anthony Tinto's birthday is today. Anthony Tinto, a.k.a. Horn. Happy birthday, my friend.
You think we should advise Steve that all the antics is be going over the TV screen?
I don't know that.
You think he's aware of that? That all the antics and the phone and the getting up and the sitting down and all this be going on the TV screen?
I don't know if he.
I think he's aware.
Sure he's aware.
Just want to make sure that he's aware that everything is up, and the bed and watch. Lord Father, watch.
Well, and he can switch off that camera.
I would have thought so. Watch. Oblivious, you know.
That is the boss, yes. So happy birthday, Tinto. Hope you have an absolutely wonderful day. I don't know what the weather like is in Canada these days. Probably still cold. I'm not sure. Maybe warming up.
Well, I hope so.
Yes,
so once again,
was Cinco de Mayo.
You know.
So I see a lot of people posted that yesterday too. 5th of May. And what's that tradition all about? I'll tell you in a bit. I thought Paul might have done it. Cinco de Mayo. All right.
Has to be everything.
It's a yearly celebration held on May 5th to celebrate Mexico's victory over the Second French Empire at the Battle of Puebla in 1862. All right. That's what Cinco de Mayo is about. It is not as deeply ingrained in the national culture as it is in the United States. That is why it is celebrated in Mexico. In Mexico, Cinco de Mayo is primarily observed in the state of Puebla, where the historic Battle of Puebla took place. It commemorates the Mexican victory over the French Empire. Cinco de Mayo, all right, if you ever wondered what it was about.
Somebody reminded me this morning that today would have been a holiday back in the day. It would have been Whit Monday.
Oh, okay. You remember? I remember when that holiday was removed, actually. I think it was removed in favor.
Would have been a holiday today, so happy would have been a holiday Whit Monday.
Was it removed in favor of Arrival Day, Indian Arrival Day?
I don't know.
I think when we got Indian Arrival Day, they removed Whit Monday. I stand corrected.
Anyway, the good news this morning, both the men's 4x100 meter relay team, 4x4, sorry, my bad. 4x4, yes, and the women's 4x100 meter relay team is qualified for the Paris Olympics over the weekend. So, we're very, very proud of them and happy of that.
I think I might head out to Paris, yes? It's July 25th.
Netherlands find themselves in the same heat here. France looking to make up for the absence of Thomas Jordier through injury, which caused them to be in this Olympic qualifying round 2. Brazil right on the outside with Lucas Carvalho have gone through the first 200 particularly strongly. Also very strongly out are Trinidad and Tobago. Netherlands on the outside of Trinidad and Tobago with Eugene Marla. Trinidad and Tobago being caught by those on the inside lanes at the moment. But Brazil with Lucas Carvalho. Canada are about to hand the baton on to Marco Arup, the World 800 meter champion. Brazil right on the outside. And Brazil get the baton over first, just ahead of France, Canada, the Netherlands, Trinidad and Tobago, and Australia have made some late progress as Alex Beck right on the inside, trying to make the most of that tight bend and sneak up the inside as the stagger unwinds. Brazil then lead as they break from the lanes down the back. From France and the Netherlands in third position, Terence Agard for them. It's Vila Lucas Villar out front for Brazil. Gilles Biron in second position for France. Jareem Richards, the former world indoor champion over 400 metres, is now moving Trinidad and Tobago up into third position ahead of Terence Agon of the Netherlands. Australia with Alex Beck, and also Marco Arup is keeping Canada in touch. They come down the home straight to hand on to leg number 3. Trinidad and Tobago flying down the home straight. Great leg from Jareem Richards has put them into second place as we move on to the third leg. But still Brazil are the leaders. Vitor Di Miranda takes the baton for them. Australia tearing into this third leg with Cooper Sherman, who was the one team change yesterday, and I hope he's measuring his effort correctly here. Cooper Sherman getting his first taste of the World Relays here in the Bahamas, halfway through this third leg. Australia, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada in fifth position at the moment with the Netherlands, who've got a bit to do. The baton currently in the hand of Ramsey Angela for them. They've got Bonavacia on the final leg. Canada will hand on to Jalen White as they close up. Australia are starting to fade. Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada and Netherlands continue to chip away, and Australia are going backwards. Cooper Sherman's barely going to get to his teammate, as Brazil with 5 metres on the rest in this final heat for the 2 places up for grabs, but anything could happen in behind them. Trinidad and Tobago with Shaquem Mackay on the final leg. France have Theo Andon currently in third position, all chasing out Mateus Lima out front. They're pretty evenly spread, those first 5 positions. Jalen White for Canada and Limavin Bonavacia for the Netherlands at the moment. All of them have got a couple of metres to find on the athlete in front of them, and the one they've got to catch is Mateus Lima of Brazil. Swinging into the home straight for the final 2 places in the Olympic Games. Mateus Lima from Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France tussling for that second spot. Brazil are fading, they're going to get to the line. Trinidad and Tobago are just about going to hold off France.
Brilliant.
Straight down there. 5 teams probably in contention coming down the stretch.
Yeah, it was a great race to watch that, because it was from the beginning to the end, it was so
Brilliant.
Tactical change for the Trinidadians, because they moved him onto the second leg from the anchor.
That is a piece of determination from that.
More circumspect start from Lama Herrera of Cuba this time. Jamaica, through Jadine Williams, have gone absolutely flying out. It's Trinidad and Tobago slightly sluggishly away. Good change from Jamaica on the outside, not the best change from Trinidad and Tobago. Liberia up on their inside in third position at the moment. Jamaica handing the baton on to Ramona Bircher in the third leg. Liberia winning contention and got it all wrong. Their chance is gone. What a disaster. Jamaica have Alana Reid racing on the final leg. Trinidad and Tobago, Cuba on the inside, and also Chile are running an absolute stormer in late.
Yeah, that's the audio fell out there, but of course this is the women's 4x100 meters. They also qualified. They were second also in that race to Jamaica. They clocked 43.54 seconds.
Here's confirmation of that result.
Jamaica's 42.7. I mean, both gave us the kind of lift we needed this morning.
Oh yes, certainly.
And of course, the men just being edged out, or just edging out France and coming behind Brazil in the 4x400 meters. Also heading to Paris this coming July into August.
Yeah, I think the men's 4 under 20 4x1 also did pretty well over this weekend too. 4x1, yes, under 20 with Kadim Chinapu. I think he would have anchored the team also to win. You know,
I
so
saw
well done.
video. No, I have the video, but the video has people's license plates on them, and the video was being shared on social media over the weekend.
With the pickups on the beach.
With the pickups on the beach, and what they were saying is that was the beach where turtles were nesting. And I couldn't verify whether it was actually a beach where turtles were nesting. That's the only reason I played this morning.
Yeah, well, it was a lifeguard apparently.
5 or 6 SUVs or trucks parked on the beach, which in any case to me ridiculous. That you had to park your truck on the beach. Your ego's so fragile that you had to show up with your truck parking on the beach in a row.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
The person who was filming it apparently was one of the folks down, one of the, I don't know if it's a lifeguard down in that area. And he was saying right where they were parked was a nesting site. Yeah.
And they were saying one of the wheels was actually in a nesting hole.
Yes.
And because of the kind of environment we in, I am played this morning because it had all the license plates exposed.
Yeah.
So as just a safety consideration, I am played. But even if it is not a nesting site, and from all accounts it is, or you're so dotish.
Yeah.
Or you're so dotish.
They are.
No, I hope the police get their hands on that video and go and charge all them.
Well, the number plates are very clear. So if it's true, then they could do something. They could find who they are.
Karen saying there was a statement saying it wasn't a nesting zone. And that's why I'm being careful. But what are you parking on the beach for?
Especially when they tell it to move.
All right. There was another video too coming out of the Trinidad and Tobago embassy, Paul. I don't know. I think I would have sent that to you too. I would have certainly sent it to Power Breakfast Group. Steve, you remember the video I told you that we could start the morning with it, but there are so many other videos.
Oh, you're talking about the embassy out in Washington D.C. for Embassy Week.
Yeah, I'll send it to you now, Paul. It's about 2 minutes 14 seconds. I think it might be worth playing also too. It's another lift for Trinidad and Tobago. Another good news video. You know?
Okay, tomorrow. That's where I'll look now.
All right, no problem. I thought it was
I saw it actually, but I didn't download it in time.
Okay.
Where they were showing some foods or something. The embassy showing the Trinidad and Tobago. The U.S. embassy in Trinidad and Tobago showing some of the highlights of culture here.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw it, and quite a bit of coverage these days. If it's not the shark, is the man walking from Icacos to Toko, which I don't know what the fascination is, quite frankly.
I don't know either. There's TikTok. TikTok is.
I want to say what I think it is, but I ain't able.
TikTok now, TikTok. Everybody on TikTok.
And what? Okay, you're walking. Okay.
Me, I watch Rudy. I watch Rudy and Josh too. That's it.
So you're walking. Okay.
And without money, he boasting that he walking the length and breadth of Trinidad and Tobago without money.
And somebody attacked him for his phone.
Yeah.
And he grabbed back the phone in time.
Yeah. And people feeding him. And now the hunters search and rescue had to make sure he have safe passage. You can't make this up.
Whole crew to walk with the man.
You can't make this up.
Okay, you're walking.
What's the highlight of that in the big in a positive light?
And he grabbed back the phone in time.
Yeah.
Grab back the phone.
Drama. Which kind of bandit now grabbing your phone and letting you grab it back?
A phone? No, I don't want to laugh because it's an alleged robbery attempt. Okay. But a phone? Who grabbing the phone? Man is thirsty, sir?
Yeah, but allowing you to grab it back?
You know what? Anyway.
So we have phone snatchers.
Move on, Paul.
We have phone snatchers, but I've never
seen Move on fast, Paul. Move on fast.
You have to do news, Paul?
Yeah, and I'm going to the papers, right? Good morning, everyone. 6:45. Thanks, Wendell. Thanks. Monday, May 6th. I need to get out of that fast. Reverse and come out. Okay? And people posting about it, All right.
I'm telling you.
Okay. Let's start with the Daily Express for today, Monday, May 6th. It is 6:45. Explosion of migrant quacks. The dental board is saying there's an explosion in the past 5 years of migrant quacks. I know somebody who was a dentist in Bensville who couldn't get certified here when he had to leave. Maybe this is just coming to light, and this is 3 years ago. Right?
Morning, Barrington, Skippy Thomas.
Cookery bloodbath. Of course, we spoke about that this morning. Bushfire shuts down Tucker Valley. Hard Place killings. No one has been held yet in connection with the killing of 5 people at Hard Place off Observatory Street on March 16th. So this, of course, one in Cookery yesterday is eerily similar, 4 dead, 8 injured in Powder Magazine attack. Did regional symposium make a dent in crime? It's a question mark. CARICOM security agencies on alert, and HDC warns of fraudsters posing as officials. And of course, an expose yesterday about the Auditor General / MOF imbroglio. Missing supporting documents was the headline. Let's move now to The Guardian. UNC needs new blood and fresh faces, a picture of Anita Haynes. A disabled village sweetheart cares for blind mother in crumbling home. Opposition wants details of Auditor General probe. Soldiers on the wrong side of the law is a piece in The Guardian. Marine biologist says stop attacking sharks. Forex shortage slows Hadid's expansion. Businessman's son among 8 charged in illegal quarrying processing operation.
I read that.
Body found in Mount St. George, Tobago. There was a murder also in Tobago over the weekend reported.
Yeah.
And the Commissioner of Police condemns Cocorit shooting, convenes high-powered meeting. Let's move now to the news there for today. Commissioner of Police condemns senseless act as 4 dead, 8 wounded in Cocorit bloodbath. New U.S. policy restricts exports of guns and ammo to local dealers. Rio Claro family robbed, bound by gun-toting bandits. Bushfire forces closure of Tucker Valley Road. Endorsing concern for Nikwan workers. And Bishop Anstey Association denies agreement to transition to fully government school. So those are some of the trending stories in here. And of course, there was a back and forth between the DPP's office and the judiciary over the I can't even call it slow pace. I can't that it will be an injustice to let's see the council Dina Sita to call it a slow
in slow process, slow investigation.
It's May 4th was 10 years since she was, I would have to say, assassinated, because that was an assassination. Okay?
Yes.
10 years.
And how long now the people have been in jail? How long now they've been charged?
I think they were charged in July the following year, so just over a year after she was killed, they were charged. So 9 years, just under 9 years. Okay? And the files here, new process. It needs to do this before the indictment filed with the High Court. I mean, really.
Yeah.
Really. And if Dana, the late Dana Sitahal, senior counsel, high profile, could be going through that sludge in the criminal justice system, what of the ordinary man? You understand?
Mm-hmm. I said the same.
This one blaming that one blaming this one saying, no, it's not me, this one saying,
Yeah.
I know where a large measure of the portion lies, but trying to behave myself these days.
That's a first for you.
But I don't know behave as in the news, so good and bad.
You ended up in the news anyway. I don't know if you know that the media's zeroing on you. They want to hear what Dr. Richard say now.
They misquoting me. You understand? And then they misquoting. You understand?
Yeah.
A whole set of them, they never even see the presentation, but all of them quoting from a misquotation. Not call yourself out.
All right. That's the headlines there, Paul.
So I'm thinking the question this morning could be, do you think anyone will be held will be brought to justice, I should say, in the Harp Place and Cocorit?
Powder Magazine.
Yeah.
There was also a murder in Barataria this morning.
And brought to justice is not just mean charged, it means brought to justice.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the results of our poll from Friday. Friday, we asked you, do you think anyone will be charged for the murder of Hannah Matura? That was our poll Friday. Results after this.
Whether wet or dry season, hazards can strike without warning, causing you or your family to quickly evacuate. You may not have the time to grab the essentials. Be sure to have your grab-and-go bag in easily accessible locations. Here are the top 7 categories that should be included and tailored to your family's need. 1. Non-perishable food items, water, and utensils. 2. first aid kit and extra medication. 3. Personalized items. 4. Change of clothing and comfortable footwear. 5. Copies of important documents such as birth.
All right. Thank you so much, ODPM. Of course, coming up at 7 o'clock, we have major news, all powered by Genesco Appliances. And Mom deserves the best with Genesco Appliances. They have just that for her this Mother's Day with our appliances that boosts double the features. Save 8% on both our 7 cubic foot freezer fridge and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day from Genesco Appliances. All right. Our poll on Friday. Do you think anyone will be charged for the murder of Hannah Mathura? 64%. 64 said no.
Okay.
All right.
This morning we are focusing on the Harp Place and Powder Magazine killings. These happened within 2 months of one another?
March 16th was Harp Place, I think.
Right. So we are we're not even May 16th yet.
Yeah.
So it's within 2 months of one another. These killings have happened where cars have driven into the area and just shoot anybody inside.
Five people died, and now this one is 6 people died. 4 people died, sorry.
4 people died, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So a question this morning: do you think anyone will be brought to justice in the Harp Place and Powder Magazine multiple murders? Yes or no? The Commissioner of Police has said they're spending no resources in bringing perpetrators to justice. Let's see.
Well, Powder Magazine would come under Diego Martin Central. That would be Minister Simon Dinobrega. Maybe we could try to reach out to him.
The lines are open.
All right. We have two votes so far, Steve. Boy Bidesi and Gregory Boyer.
Radio.
Both said no.
Mm-hmm.
It seems that, maybe we should, we have to be asking these kind of polls too much now, you know.
It is really depressing, to be very honest.
Yeah. Ishan Malik says no. Slick Money Grip says no.
All right. Captain Ron says yes via WhatsApp. Here. You did Ish and Slick. All right. Do you think anyone will be brought to justice in the Harp Place and Powder Magazine multiple murders? Good morning, Bobby. Says no. Hope all is well, Bob. Cascade St. Anne says no. Let's see. Who is this? Brent says yes. Beefy Smith out in Goodwood, Tobago says no. Ingrid Adams, no. Josie Richardson says no. Desmond, absolutely no. CJ New York, no. Hector, no. Royalty Forever, no. Let's see. CMJ says yes, there will be. Mo Gaines says no.
Is Karen saying yes there?
I have no idea. I don't see a yes or a no. All right.
But
Do you think anyone will be brought to justice in the Harp Place and Powder Magazine multiple murders? 222-8255. Toll free, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Those watching us on television on Me TV, you can WhatsApp at 318-1021. All right. Kenny out in Harlem says, I say no to the poll. Thank you, Kenny.
You know, I'm going to make the same comment I made last time with the Harp Place thing. Yeah? There are people in these areas who know exactly who these people are. I'm sure about it. There are people who would know who did this.
The assumption, or one of the presumptions that the police are speculating on, is that it's a reprisal killing.
But reprisal for what? Her place?
I don't know, for some other killing somewhere, some reprisal suggests some killing
other
somewhere
thing,
else. I don't know where.
So
All
so
right.
there was a killing somewhere else, and you drive in and just shoot down a dozen people?
Wendell, you can't put your mind on how they think.
The confusing for me is that
No
somebody
way to fathom
getting
that.
up this morning. I guess for us it's abhorrent, but for the persons who did it, they must get up this morning and say, "Yes, I get through." That's how warped the mindset is.
We get them back.
And them.
My
All right,
God.
let's see. We got some more votes going in here. Did more gains. Kenny out in Harlem says no. Vianney Warwood says yes. Lester Craigwell says no. Anne-Marie Augustin, good morning to you, says no. Julia S. Batiste says no. Eve out in Sugarguana says yes. Yeah, I've got JAW saying no. All right, thank you, Junior. Says no.
Right. JAW is Jack Austin Warner?
No, it's a different thing.
You sure?
Or Jason Anthony Williams?
His name is Junior.
Okay, Junior. All right.
Yeah, he has it is JAD Collections. JAW Collection.
Junior as in Junior Warwood? He's a musician, not so?
I have no idea. It just says Junior. I can't guess.
I just play the fool.
Beauty Culture says no. Alistair Hart says no. Oh boy. Can we just get yes or no's on our message board? All right. Do you think anyone will be brought to justice in the Harp Place and Powder Magazine murders?
Multiple murders, because 9 people in both cases. And with quite a bit more shot and injured. And a bullet to your leg don't mean you're safe, Don't mean you're okay, Because you can't bleed to death.
That's looking so funny there.
Yeah, I
hilarious there.
Yeah,
what's the pain in space, like if they see some zombie or something.
I don't know what Shane looking at.
What
Shane, what you looking at?
Well, one of my main PCs is acting up. We had a lot of we had like a dozen power dips and power outage over the weekend.
Oh, the studio gone to Arima now? Because Arima, that's a regular thing.
No, it was horrible. So, and we didn't have power.
Yeah, we should get somebody from TNT to talk about these power dips, which are happening more and more regularly across the country, and the impact of these appliances and electrical systems in their households. It is ridiculous.
It is a regular thing where I am, and it goes for like a split second and comes back on. You understand? It just goes off and comes back on.
Yeah, and it trips up everything, and then everything has to come back up.
Yep.
So that must be having some effect on the appliances and the electrical systems also.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because these computers on a UPS in all our studios.
The other day I panicked because my refrigerator, I've had it for the last 17, 18 years. And the other day I see water running out the freezer part and say, my God, don't tell me this thing spoiled. Thankfully, I just kind of reset it and it came back. It started.
You have lasted 18 years.
Huh? You notice everything has a certain timing, right? In terms of me and my stuff, right? That's just to tell you.
Right.
No comment.
Okay.
Is that AV all be decked in me?
I try to have a quiet week.
I will try to have a quiet week, but I can't promise anybody. I have a lot to do this week.
Good morning, Mrs. Bab.
Hi, Mrs.
All right.
Bab. Morning.
All right, guys. Let's get into our 7 o'clock major news now. Shall we kind of doing our fancy thing around here? Of course, our 7 a.m. news is brought to you by Genesco Appliances. Save 8% on both their 7 cubic foot freezer fridge and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove. Good morning to you, Evie.
Because it's pursuing all leads in Cocorite shooting incident. The opposition wants details of Auditor General probe. CDA closes Tucker Valley Makri Road due to a bushfire, and Israeli military tells 100,000 people to leave parts of Rafah. These are your news headlines at 7 o'clock. Details in a moment.
All right. Thank you, AV. Mom deserves the best with Genesco Appliances. They have just that for her this Mother's Day with our appliances that boost double the features. Save 8% on both our 7 cubic foot freezer fridge and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove this Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day from Genesco Appliances.
This is News 2, 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintelbab. Good morning. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service assures it is pursuing all investigative leads with a view to bringing the perpetrators of Cocorite shooting incident to justice in the shortest possible time. Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher, in response to the incident, immediately summoned a high-powered meeting comprising the Deputy Commissioners of Operations and Intelligence and Investigations, the ACP Criminal Division, the head of the Homicide Bureau of Investigations, the head of the Special Investigations Unit, and heads of several other operational units. Commissioner Christopher condemned the latest act of violence, which she described as senseless.
Senseless. And clearly, these young persons have no regard to life. And it is not a situation that we will continue to condone. We will not condone that. We will ensure that all our required resources are applied to ensure we have proper investigations done in this matter.
Meanwhile, Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher visited the scene of another multiple killing, this time in Cocorite on Saturday night. Dead a 36-year-old Jonathan Osman of Cocorite, 57, also of Cocorite, Shaquille Otley, 22, and Antonio Jack, 57, of Cocorite. They were pronounced dead at hospital. Siddiqui Otley, 31, of Cocorite, died while undergoing treatment. The 8 others, ages 19 to 39, who were shot, were taken to the St. James Medical Center for treatment and then transferred to another institution. Reports indicate that at around 11 p.m. on Saturday, a group of persons were liming on the eastern side of Building F in Phase 1 Powder Magazine, Cocorite, when a dark vehicle drove up. 2 men dressed in dark-colored clothing came out and began shooting indiscriminately. A call for the Opposition United National Congress, or from the Opposition United National Congress, for Finance Minister Colm Imbert to reveal the names of the investigators chosen to probe issues surrounding the submission of the Auditor General's report on the 2023 public financial statements to Parliament. UNC is also calling for details relating to the selection process for the investigators, their teams of reference, and the cost to taxpayers. The calls were made by Orange East MP Dave Tanku at a news briefing held on Sunday. Last month, the government succeeded in having a motion passed in the House of Representatives to extend the time to submit public accounts to the Auditor General and the time for the Auditor General to submit a report on the accounts to Parliament under various sections of the Exchequer and Audit Acts. The Finance Minister said this was needed as ministry officials had detected a variance and understatement of approximately $2.6 billion in the 2023 public financial statements. In the Senate, the motion was also passed. MP Tanku said there is need for the country to know when the probe will start, those who will investigate, deadline for the report, and the terms of reference for any such investigation. A bushfire has been cited by the Chaguaramas Development Authority as the reason for the closure of Tucker Valley Makri Road. CDA explains the road is temporarily closed until further notice. It says the safety of visitors and the protection of natural environment are of utmost importance to the authority. As a precautionary measure, the road closure has been implemented to ensure the safety of all individuals in the area. It has apologized for any inconvenience this may have caused and appreciates the public's understanding and cooperation during this time. Updates regarding the reopening of Tucker Valley Makri Road will be provided as the relevant authorities advise. On June 8th, fifth rather, 8 people charged in connection with an illegal quarrying operation in Wallafield are expected to return to the Arima court. Last Friday, they were charged with processing minerals without a license. They were granted $75,000 bail with a surety each by Justice of the Peace. The TTPS said a multi-million-dollar processing operation was shut down following the joint intelligence-led exercise conducted by the multi-agency task force assisted by the Financial Investigations Branch, the North Central Division Task Force, and crime scene investigators last Thursday. The exercise followed a directive from Commissioner of Police Earl Haywood Christopher and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service executive instructing the MATF to conduct an all-government multi-level investigation into illegal mining and illegal processing of minerals. Based on information, others unearthed a large-scale and highly modernized minerals processing plant. They observed persons at the plant's location on Moonan Road, Wallafield, operating a wash plant machine and heavy equipment. They were also engaged in other general site work. A search warrant was executed at the site where several documents were seized. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Further afield, the Israeli military says it's encouraging people in the southern Gaza city of Rafah to move towards an expanded humanitarian zone. It comes ahead of an expected offensive on the city where more than 1.4 million people are sheltering. The Israeli Defense Force, the IDF, says it is limited scope operation and not a wide-scale evacuation of eastern Rafah, which will affect 100,000 people. It adds that evacuees will be directed to 10 cities in nearby Khan Yunis and Al-Mawasi, where aid would be available. Israeli strikes in Rafah reportedly killed at least 12 people overnight, while 3 Israeli soldiers were killed in a Hamas rocket attack near the Karim Shalom crossing. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today till midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, mostly dull, hazy, and at times breezy conditions would be interrupted at times by the isolated showers in a few areas. Tonight will be mostly dull and hazy. A significant concentration of Saharan dust is present in the atmosphere, so persons sensitive to these atmospheric conditions should take the necessary precautions. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 34 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 33 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, the temperature is 28 degrees Celsius at both localities. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock, the TTPS assures it's pursuing all leads in Coke shooting incidents. Opposition wants details of Auditor General probe. CDA closes Tucker Valley Makrip Road due to a bushfire, and Israeli military tells 100,000 people to leave parts of Rafah. I'm Afril Sentil-Bab. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look for more news in detail at 12 noon today and an update coming your way at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
All right. Thank you, Avi. And thank you to Genesco Appliances for sponsoring our 7 o'clock news. You can save 8% on both their 7 cubic foot freezer, fridge, and 30-inch stainless steel rotisserie stove. All right, so mom deserves the best with Genesco Appliances. They have just that for her this Mother's Day with appliances that boost double the features. Happy Mother's Day from Genesco Appliances. All right, as Evie said, it's a warm one already, 28 degrees. Where you think you're going to get traffic, you will get traffic this morning. I'm seeing there is one accident to tell you about. It's on Lady Young Road, and it is creating quite a backup. It's by the double bends, all right? It is by the double bend on Lady Young Road. So you're going to get traffic from Coconut Drive heading straight towards the double bend there, all right? So take note of that. Other than that, I have no accidents for you. Usual spots. Eastern Main Road is just congestion and a little standstill every so often. Apart from that, everything is normal. All right. Right. Yes, guys.
So we had 2 more people voting. Adrian Kutu said no. And John Cato also said no. We had 2 more votes to a poll during the news poll. All right.
Right. So I got Black Pearl saying no. I have Precious saying My response is no. Thank you, precious. I got Mr. Seawing. Yeah, Roger Seawing saying no. I got another no from Kazim Mohammed. All right. Thank you so much. And Jaron Joseph says yes. All right.
Right.
So there you go. All right. So that's the results.
All right. Of course, our poll this morning was, do you think anyone will be brought to justice in the Harp Place and Powder Magazine's multiple murders? All right. We would have had 2 incidents, one in March and one just over the weekend. Mm-hmm. One in Harp Place where 5 people died, and one in Powder Magazine where 4 people died. We had 26 people saying no, they don't think anyone will be brought to justice, and 7 saying yes. 26 said no, 7 said yes. So I'm sure that the TTPS will be listening. Their communications people and public information people will be listening, and they will know how to deal with that, because certainly it comes across as an indictment on the TTPS at the end of the day, because they are the ones charged with arresting these people. And of course, the other part of that is bringing them to justice in the courthouse.
Well,
right?
yeah, TTPS is part, but the DPP's office and the judiciary are the other parts.
Yeah.
Because persons have been charged with the horrible murder of the assassination of Dina Sita Hall 10 years ago, and they're still not brought to justice. They're charged that they're in jail, but they're still not brought to justice. So it's not only the TTPS.
Correct.
I mean, we focus on the TTPS because they're the frontline defense for citizens.
Yes.
But the other part of it is when the police charge them and they end up in the jail, and they're supposed to go to court, and the DPP's office and the judiciary exchanging fingers pointing as to why there's a 10-year delay. I mean, that is not the TTPS. For the TTPS do what they're supposed to do, you know?
They did what they're supposed to do. You're absolutely right.
They did what they're supposed to do. So, and then what? And then we are no printer, and the printer ain't run out.
Which is why I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, sometimes you get the impression that people, and I'm putting that in inverted commas, say, okay, well, let the reprisal will take place, so that will cancel out that set of murderers. You know, sometimes you get that impression.
And I'm tempted to say that would be fine, but every loss of life is a tragedy.
It is. Because
the people are criminal. But innocent people also get killed in these attacks.
Well, yes, because you can't tell me that 11 people got shot and all of them in some...
Or that the person who drove up, the persons that drove up in Harp Place and in Powder Magazine pointed exactly who they wanted to, the supposed revenge on. Them just pray, but they don't care who children,
they don't care.
Adults, elderly people, they don't care.
They don't care.
Okay? So they really at a stage where I don't know, they're not even human anymore.
In this case, as is the case of Powder at Harp Place, a pretty senior person died, got shot.
Yeah. But Wendell, I saw a video. A young lady is coming home. She goes and she opens the gate. These 2 imps decide, well, they want the car. The family is at home. The father comes out and realizes that, is being robbed. And the mother comes out, the brother comes out, and the imps decide, well, I'm just going to fire who's far away, the father, and shot him. No, I don't know if he survived or did not, but he just dropped to the ground. And I'm going, senseless. Why you want to shoot?
I saw 2 videos recently where people were alerted that bandits were in their yard and came out making noise because they were trying to steal the car. And the bandits tell them go back inside.
Yes.
And don't care. And they continue trying to steal the car. It's just that they can't drive because of the way the car was parked in the garage in one case. And they tell them, go back inside, we can shoot you. In other words, we don't care that you catch us.
Yeah.
I mean, that is when you reach the ultimate brazen stage. Anyway, let's open the phones.
Yeah.
Zena,
I'm hoping our guest was supposed to be Dr. Fuad Khan. He did confirm. But,
You talking health or politics with Dr. Khan?
No, we're talking about whether or not the contention that, one, the probe into the NICU deaths was completed relatively quickly, I think within just over a week, or just about a week. And two, there were no interviews of the parents, which some people found strange, but I don't know if it's a technical review of the situation or what the terms of reference were. You understand? If we don't know the terms of reference, we don't know if they could or would have included interviewing the parents of the babies who died.
Okay.
And apparently the parents were not interviewed from all media accounts. So people were asking how, you know?
All right.
Yeah. So let's open the phone lines.
Yeah, we can take a couple of calls.
Is it confirmed? I saw you highlighted it just now that today is David Rudder and Ella Andal's birthday.
I don't know.
Someone posted it a
Jay
while
seems
ago.
to think so.
J97 said happy birthday and blessings to David Rudder and Ella Andal.
David, where's it now?
True. So if it's confirmed, we can officially wish them happy birthday. David Rudder and Ella Andal, both national icons.
Mm-hmm.
Every time Ella Andal sings, she's raised my paws. You know? She has a voice there, boy, that just get in here and the drumming that's associated with her singing, it gets to you.
It is on May 6th, yeah?
It is. So it's today.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, today is David Rudder's birthday. I just saw that. I'm trying to look for Ella Andal.
Yeah. So happy birthday, David Rudder, and happy birthday, Ella Andal. Two national icons. So our lines are open, people. 222 talk. Well, you know the numbers. Call us and interact with us whilst we await our guest. Don't forget, we're still streaming live on channel 111 on Flow and channel 20 on Digicel. All right? And I don't know if Richard is going to do that play again, but I want to endorse that play. I didn't go to see it the few occasions that it showed before, but I went last evening. I just needed to get to just relax, and I went and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
All right. Good morning, caller.
Hello.
Hi, morning.
Hey, Mr. Paul Richards, Mr. Steve Khan.
Good morning, Mr. Patrick.
Yes, Mr. Patrick.
I was watching something on the news last night. Where is Digicel and Flow? So Digicel and Flow could just get up any Monday morning and just decide to raise rates. Did that go through a process?
Well, they could do it on a Tuesday morning too, you know.
Wherever morning, but just it's a no system you have to go through, like the RIC, to get approval to raise rates, or you could do it.
I think there are some parameters that are governed by TAT, but I'm not sure what the process is in terms of the management of the rate that the telecom providers can raise their rates within. I think there's some sort of regulation.
As I said that, I will reach out to the new corporate communications officer of TAT, whom I know very well. She only recently took up the job there after being at EBC. I will speak to her and see if she will grant an interview or get someone for us to talk.
Because I think it was just last month, the raise rate.
I don't know that.
I can't recall that, Mr. Patrick.
Yeah, but the raise rate just the other day.
What is the other day?
So I don't know how they just jump up just so, and the people living on a budget.
But I've seen plenty of people threatening. I've seen plenty of people threatening to discontinue the service, but it's entirely up to people, you know.
Yeah.
Because I get fed up. I've discontinued all of them at one point in time. I packed my boxes in a bag one time for Flow, and I drop it when they used to be by Victoria Square there. I've done that. I've tried Amplia. I've not done Digicel. I tried Green Dot. All them things I tried. All of them is the same thing, you know. The service sucks, and the prices go up from time to time. All of them, same thing.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning to the panel, and good morning to Trinidad and Tobago and all your listeners. This morning, I call with a heavy heart. And I remember when Dana Sitahal got assassinated. I did a 7-day fast in front of the Hall of Justice.
Wendell, is that you?
Yeah, Wendell.
Okay.
In front of the Hall of Justice, in front of the Parliament. I walked from Arima to the police headquarters. Back then, the acting commissioner was Stephen Williams. I delivered a letter to him and I asked him if he will see anyone being brought to justice or anyone be charged. That time they didn't charge anybody. And I will never forget what the acting commissioner of police told me. He said, Mr. Eversley, the investigation is coming to an end and people will be charged. Today we see people before the courts for that murder. We have to ask, the question I want to ask this morning, if our justice system failing us daily, I want to ask, what is the role of the Attorney General in this? What is the role of the Director of Public Prosecution? Now, we can ask, and I will ask also too, will the Prime Minister ask why it is this matter and other matters, because other people before the court, 12 years, some 21 years, and nobody in this country have been charged. I listened to a former commissioner of police this morning on another frequency talking about politicians involved with involved with gang leaders and giving contracts to gang leaders. He spoke out about it while he was Minister of National Security. He said he even went to the current Prime Minister when he was Commissioner of Police and talk about it. So if we are seeing this taking place in this country, and same politicians going to line up with people who they talk about involved in criminal activities, what is this really seeing in this country? What are we a role that we are setting for the young ones? Graduation is coming up just now. Thousands of students going to graduate. Are we going to hear politicians who name calling in all kind of activities, big question marks over their head, going and address to students in this country and telling students about the way forward? What is the role of the Director of Public Prosecution? Why all these high-profile cases in this country? We always hear about this politician involved in corruption, this investigation, that investigation, but when it comes, nothing have been done. What should we do? Probably the independent Senator Paul Richards could lend a hand when he in Parliament. Call on the Director of Public. I think all of you all. What is the role of the Director of Public Prosecution? What is the role of the Chief Justice? What is the role of Iva Archie? Are we seeing people, criminals are being protected by the judiciary in this country? The police do their work. Then we coming down on the police for not doing their work. Look what happened. Now let's just talk about it. 4 persons getting murdered. Driving shootout. We hear the Commissioner of Police talking about turf. And the turf is controlled by the communities. But you know the communities also protecting these criminals. Something definitely wrong in this country. And I beg Paul Richards, I'm appealing to you this morning, right? As an independent senator, use your good office in the Parliament. Question these people. Why? 10 years now, they're not still grieving. People before the court, 12 years also, 15 years. High-profile cases. And we've seen politicians who talk politicians mounting on platform with them and say yesterday. How the hell we could trust these people? How we could trust these people? Somebody had to stand up for something in this country. Thanks for giving me this opportunity. I will keep listening and keep calling. And we must get a solution to go after these criminals. Go on.
Yes, right, Wendell. Take care.
All right, thanks, Wendell. Lots of calls. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. For 1 or 2, how are you going?
We good, man.
Morning.
Always good.
Okay, I deal with them.
All right.
I was down at the Southland this weekend for Borrow Day, and I must commend the government. Oh, good, if you see road work going on down there, it is massive. It is very expensive. The overhead, the bypass and thing, the extension of the highway is a lot of work the government is doing down there. So let me commend the government. I must say, I think we need the next 5 years to finish it. I'm saying that according from Coconut Drive over, I want them to do some paving in Coconut Drive over because the road bad in over. I know you can't satisfy everybody, but I feel so jealous of what I see going on in the Southland there. And it's a lot of work. My comments to the government, I must say, I don't know if they have a PR department, but I could do the PR for them. For a small price, of course. But this one is for free. But a lot of work going on in the Southland down there. It's massive. It is expensive and all of that. And it has to be commended. But still, come on, people, cannot drive and move up, please. You were bad. Right. Thank you. All right.
I'm sure Adrian Leons is listening. I told Adrian Leons and Fitzgerald Hines once, if all they do nothing in the Lavantil area, do over Lady Young Road. Do it over entirely. The landslips, the drainage, the sidewalks, just do it over. Because thousands of people use that road on a daily basis. Do it over. Make the Lady Young look out aesthetically pleasing. Do something nice on that one stretch of road, and I'll be happy.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, sir.
This country, this government in office right now is under so much attack. Land, sea, air, and otherwise. Right, you see these issues that we have with crime and all these things. For example, that thing with Dina Sitahal and all these kind of things. People have to remember, or people don't seem to get it in their head, that they have big people who have been in government already, sitting in big offices and law firms and all kind of things, who protecting and knowing the inside and outside of these things. This is not something that the government could say just grab somebody and then when you grab them and charge them, boy, you end up with real money to pay them and if you can't prove it. This government there are people who hold key positions and are mascot against the government in office, and government can't touch them because union and all kind of thing back in them. It is not an easy road. Why does the government have the country to run? Why is it hard to maintain a hospital, school, and all these things? It's not an easy thing, And at the same time, while you're trying to put these things in place, you have people in top of the line positions who throwing spanners in the wheel as you're going along to deal with that. It is not easy, People don't understand what is happening here. The only thing, the thing I support the PNM. That is my party I support. But the thing that is vexed with them is about they're not calling and holding people and getting rough. You have to do that. If you don't do that, to be honest with you, I have been supporting the PNM for years. I give them car, give them all, and I have never gotten a contract or anything from the government. It is just that under the PNM for me, it is easier to live. It is easier to live. And people have to understand what is really going on in this society. There are big people with this crime and all this kind of thing who have been inside government in offices, who have people in offices. Look at this young lady who discovered a issue aside with the sort of case and whatnot with information. The lady, the girl disappeared, boy. And what come out of that? This is not an easy road, you know. This government is fighting all kind of different, still have the country to run. And that is the issue, you know. To be honest, I watching this election coming, and I've been honest. I am very frightened because I cannot take a change of government again. I was a contractor that used to work with other contractors and subcontractors. And here now, I get a lash in my head when they change government. All my business, all the places I used to supply with little materials and all them kind of things, shut down on me. I couldn't move forward. I've never recovered in one as a small contractor. I have a particular job right now. That you know what they did? We had the Minister of Education at the time in the next government come and visit the job and was to pay we and all kind of things. They sent they run me off the job and leave the job unattended. That people vandalize every single thing. When people vandalize everything and you have requisitions for payment, and the next government come into and they don't have the items on the job, how they pay you? That is arbitration and all kind of things. Is real problems, you know. This government in a kind of position here that I think no government have ever. This is the worst. You know. I don't know how they're handling it, but they need to do something, and especially if this crime thing, we need something rough with it. I don't know what they're doing, if they have anything in gear, but which I suppose that they would, and maybe they want to see. But you need something rough in both instances. And you have to start to get rid of these people in these key positions. They have top key people doing serious things.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Beauty culture, that was Mr. Manning who had said that. Patrick Manning is who said this country is a very difficult country to run.
Good morning.
Yes, a pleasant good morning to my three excellent hosts here.
Morning, sir.
This morning, I want to reiterate what the first caller had said, Mr. Wendell. Let me get down to the facts. Everything that gentleman said is the truth and nothing but the truth. And I'm going to give you my experience with this justice system we have in the country. 14 years ago, the Nancy Tahal case is 12 years. 14 years ago, I had a matter in the fraud squad. And I had to run and investigate everything on my own. They hide my case for 5 years. Every time I go on and make a report, the file missing. The place not working, the organization, the prosecutor, the police did not just working. So when we come here and we talking, the man, what he said, Wendell, is the truth. It's just not working. And the government cannot seem to figure out why. Because they don't really go into there and they will really find out, well, look, this not working here, this is the system here not working. This here have corruption, this here not working. They're not doing it. And everybody's staying quiet and nothing is happening. I had to write the public prosecutor. Eventually she answered me. That is the assistant there. When I do get through with that now, the evidence in front of them, they can't charge nobody. The gentleman come in the country, liquidate all the assets. I call the senior and told them, look, the gentleman is here. Let me question him and do what. Then wait for the man to leave the country and then he says, so the sergeant didn't call you? I said, nobody called me, nobody answer. I could give my name now and I could bring the file. I could even bring it on that show there and show you to you. They're not working. They cannot do it. They have no investigation skills. But they come and they talk Monday every morning, one set of crap, a set of political rubbish. Any government come in power, we have a right to question it. Anybody in power, we have to constantly be on themselves to improve the service, and they're not working. 14 years I've been in that matter, and I did it when it's civil here. and we still can't get justice. Because why? When they demand it, they put in the date a year away, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years. And we're proud about that. Because we say, nah, this government go do it. Now the next government go do it. But it's not happening with none of them. And we sit down here, and 90% of the people, when they finish, they will just leave the country and go. And that is what is happening. Everybody leaving and going. All my associates and friends and business partners, they're leaving and going. And when these politicians come out of power, what is the next move? I could carry my family to our next country and leave all here to suffer. And that is what is happening. Yeah. Mr. Paul is there.
Good morning.
Yeah, I can relate to what you're saying, sir, in terms of that.
No, Mr. Richard is there. Listen, I am saying this. You're an independent individual. Don't afraid to talk. The most they could do is tell you, come out of here. And say it. I just go and say it in all them political stupid party. They just have meeting and they just put me out. What you come here to talk for? So what you want me to talk? When you want you to talk? Once that crap fall, they come in the door. They do. I ask the question, all right, you have a right to get a salary raise. Right? Did you ever think about it? In a family, when a man is poor and he had a constant get a standard salary, he could go and tell the boss, I want a raise. He didn't know what he was doing. He just sacrificed. Say, wife, we have to say about each one, and he will do that. They had to sacrifice and say, listen, I is the leader, and I will not take no raise. I will do this. I will be committed to service. They don't do that. They come there to get him their salary and they go on the way. And then we come here and talk about party. Well, they mustn't take them kind of stupid talk about people who really want. I don't see anybody in the government, in the old age home, in the orphanage. I don't see them in no non-profitable organization. But they come there and then they talk, we could do this, but they don't be there.
All right.
They are not there. And then we come here, we talking every Monday morning, every day. Same thing over and over.
Thank you.
I frustrated.
Yeah. We are hearing your frustration this morning. Trust me.
No. All here in it. 14 years I leave Canada to come here, boy. And it's so shameful to know my own people is only thing about robbing you. Let me tell you something before I leave here. There's 20,000 fraudulent cases in land matters in this country. And the police could only solve if 100 a year. If 100. I have to tell you how backward we is right now. But anyway, you had to keep the program going. We had to get the pertinent questions to be asked every time when they come here. Bring people who could answer. Bring the government, regardless of which government, and put them there. And let we, the public, question them. And when I question them, they just say, shut your mouth. What you come here for? We have to do it. And ask the question. Bring them on the program and ask them, regardless of which government. Because here what's going to happen. We're going to suffer in the end. They're going to carry the children and their family out of the country. And we will stay here. We will suffer. You all have a nice day.
All the best to you, man.
Yeah. All right.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Morning, gentlemen. I want to ask a question. I want to ask you all something. Do you all know if the Commissioner of Police ever got the report concerning that shooting in front of Republic Bank with those young fellas in that car? Because I haven't heard anything, because you know how everything this take long, like getting an AGC house in this country. So I'm just throwing that out. If she ever got that report, because we didn't see anything. You see that caller just now there before me? I agree with him, what he said, 150%. I don't understand why cases in the, I agree. You see what Wendell said there? It is so correct. I just say, I wonder how these officers feel to see. They do the work, they investigate, arrest, because you can't, you arrest the person. The charging is on the DPP. So you go to the DPP see the information, you present what you have to him, your investigation report, and he will say charge or not charge. And after that, you go to court And when you reach the court, it's a foxtrot and a bolero, and you go in every year. Let me tell all you something. My brother got killed in Trinity in 2014, right? In front of his gate as he going in. 2 gunmen jump out, shoot him. He just came from that casino in Trinity Mall. And when we got on the scene, we left to go and went up. And the caution tape. And the officer was talking to my sister because she knew him. Inspector, I think Edwards or whoever was in charge of that station in Aruka. And he talking to her. And you know what I said to him? I say, as far as I am concerned, saying we're going to investigate that, the normal drill. I said, let me tell you something. I say, as far as I am concerned, I said, this is closed. He said, oh God, oh, you could say that. We don't close case. I said, let me tell you something. I say, I giving myself closure, right? And let me tell you, I am so glad. They never found who them 2 fellas. They must be done dead by now. And I said, I am glad it saved my mother and his children to be running to court. Imagine Dana Sitahal, somebody was a prosecutor, and you telling me 10 years and this. So even if you catch the fellas and you're going to court and coming back 10 years, with that, so I am so glad they never found the person. So it saved my family having to be running to court. You know what I want to find out? How Ramesh Lawrence Maharaj pulled it off with that old shady case. That case didn't go 5 years. I remember the Chief Justice was on a program, I'm not sure if it's this one, and I asked him, I said, why it is these cases just keep putting off, magistrates putting off case? And he said to me, he said, ma'am, I don't try case. I don't put off case. But my thing is, I'm sorry Richard is not there. What it is that could be done that a case can go for 5 years in this country? Could somebody tell me why it is a case? Imagine that guy talk, he wasn't even a murder case, he say. And you going back and forth, he say, for 14 years? We joke in this country because that is madness. Imagine big high-profile case, George Floyd, this next guy, it finished less than 2 years, and we dragging little petty case? Come on, man, I now see why. The Chinese and them, when they get robbed, because Alexander used to say, oh, they don't like to report when they get robbed. They're right. Some people, the State Street Justice, because why the hell you must be running to court 5 and 10 years? Look now, man, this thing, so I am so glad my mother didn't have to go through that ordeal because they could catch the person and you could be waiting 10, 15, 20 years to get justice. You all have a blessed day.
And living in fear too, at that party.
Yeah.
And living in fear. Let me say good morning to Chris Toussaint, Amjad Ali, and Adandi Pigat. Good morning, and thanks for listening, obviously, to the best show on radio.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am glad to that call. If her name eludes me, I'm glad that she reminded us, because I always talk about it, so she remind me, but I like people to bring it to the front burner of that assassination, I would call it, of those young fellas in Port of Spain. That McDonald Jacob, the then commissioner, said that the investigation should take about 3 months. He was still in office 3 months after that. We have had Earl Christopher, who there for 2 years after that. And although the investigation can't come out, I suspect if the video ever comes out, Trinidad to Port of Spain will burn down. Because I suspect it was a clear assassination. Right? People would have no confidence in the police service if that video ever comes out. If those videos ever comes out, because it's the first time in the history of Trinidad and Tobago, a car chase happened from where it was?
Diego Martin. The Cocorit stretch there.
Cocorit is the name of the place.
Yeah.
A car chase happened from Cocorit, and not one video evidence, not one video camera caught anything. reference that killing of several youth men. Not one. The police did a fantastic job of getting every single video evidence of that. Right? Not one, including all the cameras out in Port of Spain. But I suspect there's a reason why those videos will never come out.
But Lincoln, if you remember, at the time when we spoke to Commissioner Jacobs, he said within 2 to 3 weeks we would have that footage.
3 months, I believe it was. He said we would have the footage. 2 years, Christopher going on 2 years now, and the footage hasn't been released yet. I suspect I know the reason why. Right? And to the lady, I understand what she's saying, but I believe it would be better, rather than be glad that they didn't catch the people, I would appeal that we fix the justice system. So when you catch the people, the justice system would be expedited. And she's so right when she spoke about George Floyd, about the policewoman that went in the wrong apartment and killed the man, about so many cases that we sit in our living rooms and hear the whole episode, the whole saga from beginning to end. We hear everything come out in the court. The media does a fantastic job of bringing out the information. Trinidad and Tobago is the only place that it is so embedded on us that we can't divulge the information to compromise the case, and we can't. So nothing is ever.
Lincoln was nemesis.
Same.
You ever heard the phrase?
Officers involved is nemesis.
You ever heard the phrase "sacred cow"?
Sacred cow.
You know what a sacred cow is?
Explain it to me. I'm sure I've heard it, but
it's an untouchable entity. It's an entity that seems untouchable, and they are institutions in this country. Whether they're operating efficiently or not, they seem to be sacred cows because you dare not criticize them. You see, the police are the low-hanging fruit always, and a lot of times it's because of their own doing, inefficiency and stuff like that. But when they do perform, as in the Dana Sita case, because they did perform, they did exactly what they're supposed to do. They gathered the evidence, they sent it to the office of the DPP. The office of the DPP returned information and said, well, go ahead and charge. They charged. The persons are in prison. You understand? More than one person.
Paul,
and
let me
after
add to
that,
that. If we have to believe the most viral program we've had with Pastor Brown, he was the man who went into the area and identified the car that was involved in the shooting at Dana City. Has anybody ever denied that?
But the judiciary has also said that after the police charge, the police also have a role going into the case because police prosecutors have to provide right. So there's the police in the initial investigation, the police in the gathering of data to send to the DPP. The DPP just send back to say whether to charge or not. The police to charge. The criminal justice system is supposed to kick in with the judiciary now assigning whether it's magistrate or high court. In this case, it's high court. And there is a to-ing and froing as to who is delaying, who is not efficient, who is doing what it's supposed to do, where it reach, who's supposed to send back this new case management system, and one set of tralala. In the meantime, in addition to being traumatized by losing your loved one, you are re-traumatized by waiting 10 years, 15 years, 20 years for a case for completion. I mean, let me tell you something. Let me tell you what happens there. And it's been said not only in Trinidad and Tobago. The longer a case takes to be completed, the better the chance for the defendant.
Yes.
They have a whole program on that. They have a whole program called the first 48 hours.
The longer a case takes to be completed and go through the criminal justice system, the better the odds for the defendant because evidence was missing.
You know what is a classic?
Witnesses die or forget. Case management, the prosecutors change. The police who were on the case going to retirement. You understand?
Yeah.
Let me give you a classic example of that, Paul. I don't remember the lady's name. The lady who was managing the supermarket that was killed in Diego Martin.
Vivian Nightfall.
Vivian Nightfall. After how much years, I can't hold the exact figure.
In Halsane.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
After umpteen years, the 10, 12 people that was charged for that walk out of jail with financial numerations, compensation for the time served. Why? Because they weren't convicted in a timely fashion, and they worked the legal system until they eventually win the case. Or until eventually the case was eventually thrown out. You understand? And these people who they have in remand, and the 4 fellas that broke out of jail, we have repercussions of it. And we don't seem to want to fix the problem, you know. Remember the 4 fellas that escaped from remand yard a couple years ago? They said the primary reason for the escape was that they were there for 14 years and the case they call yet.
Interesting, the Guardian editorial today is contentions between CJ, meaning the Chief Justice, and DPP, helping the criminals' cause. Right? The contestations of blame game going on between 2 major constitutional pillars of law in Trinidad and Tobago, the Director of Public Prosecution and the Chief Justice, is indicative of and a core reason for the inability of the state to counter raging criminality which has been mauling the population of this country. Which exactly what we say.
Mm-hmm.
This one blame that one blame this one, while they all have the cushy jobs and the great packages, and they understand. And as I said, no one can criticize or say you're not doing your job properly, because then you're going to the realm of interference.
The perks and allowances. And if anybody ever says something, you're crossing the line.
All right. Thanks, Lincoln.
With the system. All right, then, Steve.
Okay, buddy. All the best.
Oh,
good morning.
So you're PNM.
Mm-hmm. That too.
Good morning, caller.
Gentlemen, good morning. How are you guys?
Good, Captain Ron. Morning.
Yes, it's something, a small thing I've noticed. I'm sure people have noticed it, but I need an explanation for it. How come that when they have events like Carnival and then there's Borrowed Day, the police gets on board and saying, "Oh, no crime, nothing happened." How come can they protect these events and show that they have they know how to do it?
Well, because they bring out extraordinary resources for those events that are not sustainable throughout the year.
Without the extra resources right through the year.
Well, they don't have it's not unsustainable.
You know, because I still think they could do it in the sense that you gotta help from outside. That's the case.
You tried that already.
I am all police people. Well, then try it again, because it's something it has to be done. You can't just say I've tried it already and maybe something wasn't done properly.
I have an airline question.
This is why when we doing approaches for training pilots to fly, you make the first approach to land the airplane and you didn't get it correctly. You go back up in the air and come back again. You need practice make perfect. I know you guys are very educated, just as I am, maybe better than I am. But the thing is that you just got to do it, keep doing it until they get it right. Because look how many people got killed last night, and yet this weekend gone there. When I put on your Northern show this evening, I'm going to see what's going on. I listen to you guys in the morning, and I watch the Southern show in the evening. So, I mean, something has to be done properly. Even what the people were talking about, the previous callers, about how long they take to solve the cases. Up to this day, since when I was in Trinidad living there back in the 70s, I left Trinidad in 1980 with my brothers, and it's the same situation. The same, nothing has seemed to change.
Can I ask why you decided to migrate?
I had no choice, because my mother passed when I was 2 years old, and my aunt took my mother's sister, brought us here. Okay. I like to say we were kidnapped. She threatened us and told us the next day.
You have no choice in the matter. Well, good for you. I have an airline question for you. Frontier Airlines has started to do a Trinidad to Puerto Rico route. I understand Puerto Rico is now Frontier Airlines hub. Is that true?
No, Frontier Airlines hub is really Denver, Colorado.
Okay.
That's where they begin, and that's why they have all the animals. Different
I hear we're going to get cheaper flights through Puerto Rico to New York and Miami soon.
Well, be prepared for this. They tell you it's cheaper to get you to buy your ticket. But when you go to the counter to check in, you have to pay for the luggage, and it works right back up to you pay United or American.
Well, it's still be cheaper for JetBlue. I could talk for JetBlue. It's still not cheaper.
You know, no, but you know what I love with JetBlue? Honestly, I should be saying this, but I'm telling you this. The seats are very comfortable. And I think
even if you do prefer your room, you're right. For two people like me, is a godsend.
JetBlue.
There's a maxi taxi in the sky.
All.
It's not so, Captain Ron. And JetBlue is a maxi in the sky.
A maxi with great leg room.
A comfortable one too. And
comfortable maxi.
Most couple of airlines, I believe, in the United States, I shouldn't be saying this, it's JetBlue and Southwest. Very comfortable leg room in the back. Very, very comfortable.
Yeah, never use Southwest.
Yeah, well, because they only go as far as Puerto Rico and St. Thomas in these places, but I think they're going to Colombia now, so maybe they're trying to expand.
Sharon Henry Singh, that was a good kidnapping. You made your aunt proud. You certainly made your family proud.
Well, this is what she told us the next day after we arrived in New York. She said, you guys are going to go back to school, find something to do. I'm going to send you guys back to Trinidad. And I remember my I'm not going back, and my brother's probably upset because my brother right now, my big brother, he's a captain on a Shell oil tanker in New York. And he brings fuel to the airport, and I fly to the airport. I fly airplanes. And my younger brother, he works for the FBI.
Your family, you made the best of the opportunity. That's very commendable. Good for you.
Yeah.
I would really. One of my hopes, Captain Ron, is that I meet you on a flight. I actually fly on a plane. I'm on a flight that you're the pilot.
Yeah, I'm looking to come down to Trinidad soon. Hopefully before August, but definitely by August, God willing. And I'm going to make an effort to meet you guys. I really would like to meet you guys.
Hoping to meet you soon. All right, man. Have a great day.
Program in the morning. Trust me.
All right, let's end how we started with the great news of our wonderful performance at the Bahamas Athletics World Meet, where both our men's 4x100 meters team.
4x4, oh goodness.
4x4, all right. Okay, all right. 4x4. And the women's 4x100 team was qualified for the Olympic Games in Paris. Have a great day. You all be safe.
You could easily be married. Once you make a mistake, and you keep making it, you could easily be married. You keep making the same mistake over and over.
How many times you get married?
Not enough. Folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. Take care.
Back from France and the Netherlands in third position. Terence Agard for them. It's Lucas Villar out front for Brazil. Gilles Biron in second position for France. Jareem Richards, the former world indoor champion over 400 metres, is now moving Trinidad and Tobago up into third position ahead of Terence Agard of the Netherlands. Australia with Alex Beck, and also Marco Arup is keeping Canada in touch. They come down the home straight to hand on to leg number 3. Trinidad and Tobago flying down the home straight. Great leg from Jareem Richards has put them into second place as we move on to the third leg. But still Brazil are the leaders. Vitor Di Miranda takes the baton for them. Australia tearing into this third leg with Cooper Sherman, who was the one team change yesterday, and I hope he's measuring his effort correctly here. Cooper Sherman getting his first taste of the World Relays here in the Bahamas, halfway through this third leg. Australia, Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada in fifth position at the moment with the Netherlands, who've got a bit to do. The baton currently in the hand of Ramsey Angela for them. They've got Bonavacia on the final leg. Canada will hand on to Jalen White as they close up. Australia are starting to fade. Brazil, Trinidad and Tobago and France. Canada and Netherlands continue to chip away, and Australia are going backwards. Cooper Sherman's barely going to get to his teammate. as Brazil with 5 meters on the rest in this final heat for the 2 places up for grabs, but anything could happen in behind them. Trinidad and Tobago with Shaquem Mackay on the final leg. France have Theo Andon currently in 3rd position, all chasing out Mateus Lima out front. They're pretty evenly spread, those first 5 positions. Jalen White for Canada and Limavin Bonabasia for the Netherlands at the moment. All of them have got a couple of meters to find on the athlete in front of them, and the one they've got to catch is Mateus Lima of Brazil. Swinging into the home straight for the final 2 places in the Olympic Games, Mateus Lima from Brazil. Trinidad and Tobago and France tussling for that 2nd spot. Brazil are fading, they're going to get to the line. Trinidad and Tobago are just about going to hold off France. Straight down there.